then. You guys put together a great year last year behind Mills, Miller, and Carell out there on the mound, and best season probably the Meridians have had since you guys became in this league.
Yes, last year was our best year. Hoping for more this year, but we'll see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, it should be an interesting season. Lots of competition, and when we teased the Open there, we talked about you buying a bat company. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? It's BP Bats, right?
Yeah, it's BP Bats, bpbats.com. Me and Matt Biscotti, somebody who plays on the Bulls, and another former who played on the Bulls as well. We bought it back in June or July.
No, I have to interrupt you, Justin. You're not getting arrested right now, are you?
No, I'm not. That is that's an ambulance driving by down here in Norwood.
Oh, well, that explains everything. Carry on.
Yeah, it does. It explains a lot, huh? But yeah, I mean, we've had it since July, I think, August. We started talking about it right around the All-Star game last year, where me and Doc went to up in Cleveland. And yeah, basically we could sell custom bats to any age group you need.
That's awesome.
All the way down to Little League.
So how did that come about? You guys were just sitting around and BSing and said, "Hey, let's buy a bat company."
Pretty much. Matt Jadwiziak, he found a listing and forwarded the information to me, and I happened to having a few adult beverages with Matt Biscotti, and next thing you know, a couple more adult beverages later, we were all chipping in and buying a company.
Well, that's awesome. Now, I really wasn't sure how it worked at the beginning. I've come to find the company isn't necessarily located here. At first, I'm picturing, Biscotti over there on the lathe and you handing him a couple billets, but it's not really what's happening, is it?
Yeah, no, not yet. Eventually, that is what we would like. But basically, we take orders, and there's a guy in the Boston area who can completely customize bats, color, cut, anything you need, really.
Really? Okay. So what does BP stand for in the BP Bat Company?
You know what? We really don't know. The guy we bought it from just started it. I think he had it for 4 or 5 years, and one of the things he wanted the name to stay around, and we decided to keep the name because he does have some customers. There's a Little League team that places orders yearly with him. He has a lot of good contacts up in that area, so we decided not to mess with something that was obviously working. But he never said what BP was for.
Okay, well, at least you get some name recognition on there. So let's just say, for instance, some of the guys in our league are listening right now. Obviously, the season about 7-8 weeks away from starting. You need some new wood for the season. How would one go about purchasing a BP bat?
Yeah, so if you check out our website, www.bpbats.com, you're at the very top. Top left-hand corner, I believe, there are all the options, custom maple. We can get ash and birch as well, and they're all options. You plug and play. And for the Cincinnati Adult Baseball League, we have set up a discount code, 10% off any order, which you type in CABL as a discount code.
Okay, nice. So get on there and purchase some wood for the upcoming season. That's a great idea for the guys listening right now. Again, that's BP Bat online. It's CABL is the discount code. Go on there and get yourself some wood for the season. So that sounds like a great deal. Hopefully we can get some guys using BP bats to make that the official bat of the CABL.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be
now, can you get Ray Sterling a 2 cutoff men bat?
That's what I'm thinking. I think we
need
a 2 cutoff men bat.
Hey, we can make that happen.
Can you customize that?
You want a trophy bat?
I want a trophy bat. I don't want to use it. I don't want to use it. I just want to.
Well, Ray would like to have. Ray would just like to have a bat that doesn't have a hole in it, because that usually seems to be what happens during the season.
Yeah, that's
all you got to do is let me know what. Let me know what colors you want. We'll make it happen.
Absolutely. Well, as long as it isn't those ugly orange Colt colors, we're good, right?
Yeah.
Navy blue. We'll
do
that.
That's I hear
kind
you.
of our, because the navy blue works for both Jason and I. So navy blue would work. But yeah,
absolutely.
Navy blue 2 cutoff, man. I think we can make something happen.
We can make that work.
If you do that, I think we're going to have to go ahead and just give him a plug each week. Then now, Jason, I think that's going to be it.
I think we can make that work. Well, no doubt. Well, Justin, we appreciate you coming on, sharing the info with the Bat Company. Hopefully, we can get some guys out there swinging BP bats this year, and best of luck to you guys as well. Not too much luck. We may run into you in the playoffs, but a great season for you guys, and it should be another great year again.
Yeah, we hope for the best. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us in the Hot Corner. Best of luck this season. If you'd like to be on the Hot Corner or know of someone who might make a good guest, let Ray or I know. I'd love to hear from you.
Hey, that sounds great with this the new Bat Company and being able to get some bats for the league. So I was really excited about having Justin Kraus on the Hot Corner there. That works out really well. And so now, from here, I think we can talk about some of the new fields that we're going to be using and maybe some updated fields. We talked we teased a little bit about the Finneytown. We can highlight a little bit of that, what's coming up with that, and we've also got Highlands is having an upgrade this year, so we can talk about that and talk about some of the fields.
Yeah, meet the new fields, same as the old fields in some cases. That was a Who song, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I don't know.
Somewhere along there. Yeah. So we have a few that are going to be new this year, but not necessarily fields we haven't used before. We'll just kind of go up and down the list. Ross Park over in St. Bernard underwent a pretty significant facelift in the offseason. It was one of those Reds Community Fun fields, not only Ross Park in St. Bernard, but also Bellevue Veterans Field over in Bellevue. Both of those getting turf on there and lights. Unfortunately, we're not going to get access to the Bellevue field. I won't say any more on that, but we are going to get access to Ross Park over in St. Bernard, a field that we used to use way back when. Very excited that it has turf. Looks like it's going to be a terrific place for us. We're going to have it on Wednesdays starting in the latter part of July and throughout August and into the playoffs. So it's going to be a great playoff field for us. We're not going to get Sundays, but we have a foot in the door. Hopefully we can just expand this as the years go on.
Yeah, that's big, is getting a foot in there, especially with a lot of these schools or different parks being able to get this money and upgrade. A lot of them are being, I don't want to say picky or, which, I mean, you in a way you don't blame them, right? Because they put all this money in to keep it nice. But it's a lot harder, a lot more expensive to be able to use fields. I mean, let's take, for instance, Mikenfield back in the day. It was basically, we just had to go to the city of Covington and try to get our dates in. And if you were from that area, it was nothing.
I can even one up you there. I got a key from the Holy Cross baseball coach years ago. He said, have at it. And you give a little donation to the baseball program, good for him, good for us. But as you well know, once the turf went in, that policy went out the door.
Yeah. And some things, and I won't get nitpicky on it, too much in there of how some workings are going on down there right now. But, it's for us, if we wanted to get down there, even with me having a discount for being a coach over in Northern Kentucky, it would be $400 a game.
That's not going to work.
And that's during the day. If we were to do a night game, it's like $600. So it's just crazy. You might as well go ahead and play out at the Freedom.
No doubt. It's hard to find good fields that will let you use them when you want to use them at a fair price. So it sounded like a commercial, didn't it? But finding the right fields, it's certainly a tricky thing. And we have some other ones. Indian Hill we used sparingly last year. Meridians having in, I believe, Newman playing for the Meridians, coach over there. Sounds like we're going to have that on Wednesdays only once the high school season ends. Again, another turf field, so that's a great spot over there in Indian Hill.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice addition, and a lot of guys, you might want to go ahead and look into either
turf shoes.
Switching over to them turf shoes or switching over to the rubber shoes. The cleated bottoms, because it's looking that way that a lot of teams are going over into the turf fields, and we've had a lot of rain over the last couple of years during the high school seasons, which that's what's driving this. Is it's just killing high school seasons a lot anymore, and having the ability to be able to play every day, no matter what is driving things. So, and honestly, the upkeep for a regular field and the timing and everything else is just ungodly. I know this is, like I said, we'll touch base. Highlands is also getting an upgrade. We have upgraded the entire infield, and the sidelines going up is all going to be turf. The only thing that's going to be grass will be the outfield. So but the time that's going to save us as coaches on getting fields ready and everything, it's just going to be unbelievable. So, and
the access to Highlands over the last couple of years, we've been able to get some Sundays in there, 4th of July on, I think, to the end of the year. Looks like maybe we'll be able to get some more in there this year.
Yeah, it's all going to be at the end of the high school season. Hopefully, again this year, it'll be our 5th year out of the last 6 going down the state. It'll cost us to not be able to get until a little bit after the first week of June, second week of June. But it looks like we should be able to get some games in over there after that, and it's gonna be another upgrade for us. And there's also a couple of little other things that might be done over there. Don't know that they're gonna be done this year, but talking about extending some fences and some batter's eye being built and a couple different things.
Oh, great! Well,
so it'd be fun.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Hopefully, get the Colts some home Sunday games out there. June on for you guys, so that'll be terrific for you guys. A couple other ones we've been talking to. West Claremont, of course, this is the old Amelia High School before the schools merged. We can't get in on the varsity field, but the junior high field, West Claremont Middle School, the old Amelia High School, pretty good field. They just put $20,000 into it. We're going to get some access to that field. We have a few teams, have a lot of East Side guys, namely, I believe the Tigers, the Orioles, Brewers. So we're going to try to squeeze in some games over on that side of town. In that, along that same thought, Milford, a field we've used a lot in the past. We're going to try to squeeze in some games. They don't allow us to get on before Memorial Day or after August 1st, although they said we might be able to work on some of those later games, but we're going to try to get at least a couple months in there over at Milford. So I think our East Side guys are going to be happy squeezing in a couple of those fields. Talked to Justin Faust earlier this week. He is the athletic director at Middletown High School, and they just did a huge renovation to their field, which is called Lefferson Park, not too far from the high school campus. So that, Ray, that should be a great location for the teams in Cincinnati playing against either, say, the Mudcats, Braves, Knights, what have you. That's a great spot right in the middle, right off the highway.
Yeah, those additions to help some teams out, little local teams being able to play a little bit closer and not have to travel all the time and stuff is great. When you were talking about the West Claremont, it's nice to hear that they actually put some money in. We played there with Highlands last year. We actually did a weekend thing with West Claremont last year where our varsity played and our JV, and we played my JV team. We played over there on that junior. Was it the junior high again or?
Yeah, it's now the West Claremont Middle School. It used to be the old Amelia High School, so they have the facilities that you would expect a high school to have, even though it's a middle school now.
Right, and I mean that's a nice field. I mean it's not bad at all. So it's going to be a nice addition.
I can't wait to get. And of course, a lot of the old standbys. Of course, we're going to have Crossley. I think I have 27, 28 dates settled out there. There's Deer Park. We're going to try to get Fenwick for a handful. Finneytown Foundation, 2 of your favorites there. Franklin will have on board. We're going to try to squeeze in some more games at Loveland this year. They've done a great job. Tim Oakes' company got the contract there. Got some pictures the other day of what they've done. That just looks beautiful right now, what they've done over at Loveland. So that's going to be a huge improvement. North College Hill is always in the mix for us. Schuler Complex, they've given us more dates this year than they ever have. So obviously they like us playing over there, and we certainly appreciate playing one of our favorites at Schuler. We're hoping the Springboro Sycamore as usual. Testerman, I've already scheduled 27, 28 dates out there. So a lot of the old standbys, but we'll mix in a few new ones, and I venture to say there might even be a couple other new ones that'll mix in here at some point.
Yeah, and again, I'll just bring it up because you and I mentioned it a little bit, because kind of like on the lines where we were talking about the Bellevue Vets field. but there's a couple other fields getting